Kingcayne.
Alright, what's going on, y'all? I wanted to do a quick gems and gaming. I wasn't completely sure if I was gonna do one today, but I'm gonna do one real quick and get back to work. But today's gems and gaming is about dealing with hard times. I just felt I needed to do this, just based off the simple fact that I've been feeling very, very blessed lately, and I'm not guilty for that. I'm just very grateful for it because, or I don't feel guilty for that. I'm just grateful for it simply because of the fact that I know how difficult, certain times in my life has been. All right, and just keeping it real with myself, just because I'm doing okay now doesn't mean that there isn't people who still are going through tough times, and my heart goes out for people like that, especially the ones that don't realize that there's a other side to it. Once you get over the hump, there are better days. Like, when I started posting this type of content on YouTube or primarily on TikTok, I noticed that this type of rhetoric, what I'm saying right now about there being better days and there will be better time and you can get through your better days, it just occurred to me that that's kind of foreign for some people. Like, some people haven't heard that concept, all right? And that sounds crazy, right? But like, it's real. Some people are not showing encouragement or love in times where they really need it, and that's heartbreaking, because I know what it's like to be going through a difficult situation, whatever the case may be, and then not feeling the support that you feel like you absolutely need. I was blessed enough though to always receive that support at some point. At some point someone showed me or told me something that I needed in that moment. So I think we did gems and gaming before about changing your perspective about not viewing problems as just problems, but more as viewing problems as lessons. Now you got lessons, and now if you lose and whatever your problem is, let's say you lose to that problem, now that lesson or now that loss still works in your benefit, because now that loss is just another lesson. All right, so if we're talking about changing our perspective, you got to do that exact same thing, and the best way for you to get that practice is, unfortunately, in the most difficult times. It sucks, but it's very difficult to train yourself to know that you can get through something if you're not going through anything. Like, that doesn't even make sense, right? Like, it's not possible it's difficult for you to train yourself. I know it's another bone pile, but I'm about to run to help my team. Yeah, man, I just I always think about preachers, right? Like, when I went as a child, like it hit different for different reasons. When I was going through a child, when I was going as a child, I was depressed for the majority of my time in middle school, and I guess that's probably when it started. I probably got super depressed like in middle school, and I don't know if that's like average for most kids, but it definitely, I did not have a great middle school experience. So, church in those times was critical for me, because when I wanted to give up, or in worst case scenarios, when I had suicidal thoughts or anything like that, man, it was crucial for me to have God in that moment, but for me to have people or for God to use people to encourage me in those moments, and I would see those encouraging words or lessons or whatever, as I would see it as, okay, this is my this is gonna be my fuel for the next next couple days, next whatever. I'm going to make sure that I keep pushing, because this person didn't have to say anything encouraging to me in this moment, and they did, and because of that, I'm gonna give it a real shot. So there were, that was my mentality. My bishop was very adamant about not letting your difficult moments get the best of you. So in the worst time of my life, I actually had encouraging words, and I would have it every Sunday, and only on Sunday, because my mom's at work, I go to school. When you get bullied at the crib, it's like, at the school, it's 5 days a week. Saturday's the only day I could really chill. So on Sundays, when I would go to church, I would get the most encouragement. But that 1 day a week would be enough. That 1 day a week would be enough to get me through 6 days of my struggles, 6 days of my issues. And that's important to to me, that's important to note, because really, like you going through problems 5 days a 5 days a week, 1 day of rest, and only 1 day for encouragement, and you were able to push through it. That lets you know why encouragement is so critical. And for people that's not or people who haven't been fortunate enough to receive that encouragement in difficult moments, my heart goes out to them. Like what I would say to every single person is just that, as cliche as it may sound, I'm only saying this because I've lived through both. I've lived through going through the hard times, and I lived through getting through them. There is another side. It truly is, and if that's not really well known, I would say, if you're going through a difficult time, I would say, as you learn and practice to get through these moments, I would make it a focal point of my days, or the focal point of my days would be creating the mentality to get through these type of situations, because it's only going to make you better. Whatever it is, it's only going to make you better. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's going to make you better. So, that's pretty much the gist. I could keep going. I don't know how long this particular Kushaladora is going to take. I wasn't trying to be on too long. I definitely wanted to do gems and gaming. When I first started this, I really didn't know, what I wanted to do. And I know that doesn't really sound like that much of an issue, but I'm very particular about my time. And what I mean by very particular about my time, I try not to waste my time at all. So I was even debating with myself. I was like, man, should I still do gems and gaming? Is it worth it? Am I really, using my time appropriately? That kind of stuff. But I would have a few people here and there just be like, yo, the words you said to me, they meant a lot. Right? So, how important I was telling you guys words of encouragement are. And how important it is for us to probably try to give more words of encouragement instead of discouragement. That's why I kept doing gems and gaming. If it helps one person, I'm cool with it. That's enough, man. That's enough. So I'm, for anyone else that is helpful for, I'm happy. Do me a favor, leave a comment. Let me know if it is. Most of the people that tells me about gems and gaming typically tell me in person or DMs. I would love to just hear about certain stories about people, finding a way, not out of a situation, but through a situation, from some of the words of encouragement I said here on Gems and Gaming. Even if you don't, but you view, and it's impactful for you. I don't know, I don't know if it is or not. I'm just gonna assume and continue to do it. No, I think it's super important, and that's how you. I think that's how you get through difficult times. Is like just keep pushing anyway. Just keep pushing anyway. For real, like, and I know for some people that's like mad annoying to hear. Like, bro, you know what I'm going through? Like, you know everything I gotta deal with, and you saying, just keep pushing? Yes, bro. Yes, sis. Just keep pushing. Facts. Facts. I mean, I can only tell you from stuff that I've experienced. It'd be ignorant of me to suggest that your issue is, you know, you can defeat it without knowing what your issue is, but just only saying from my own personal experience is like, man, you probably be surprised at what you're capable of, cause I was surprised at what I was capable of, for sure. My wife surprises herself of what she's capable of, but we both like encourage each other and push each other and tell each other like, yo, like you're dope, like what you doing is fire, like oh this problem is nothing, oh you can get through this. And now the reason I feel so blessed is because I have somebody that encourages me constantly. Like, it really don't matter what I'm going through. I know for a fact that I can get through it. My teammate Alice Cooper, they're upset with me. I don't blame them. But and just going through my experience, if I ever given up at any moment, then there was just so much stuff I would have missed out on. You know what I mean? Like, way too many things I would have missed out on. I've had bad dates. I've had bad business experiences. Bad relationships, definitely bad money problems, health conditions, mental battles. I've had it all, man, and I'm not saying it to brag. I'm just saying that, like, I know we all have, like, like, it's probably some people out there that hasn't had to deal with certain things. Like I've not had to deal with every single problem. But I dealt with a lot, and I'm not saying that because I feel like big and bad. I just know, like, everybody. I know a lot of y'all listening to this have 100% been through a lot, for sure. And guess what though? You undefeated. You survived 100% of your bad days. Can't nobody take that from you. That's pretty dope, and that's what's dope about all of us. It's like, I wouldn't sleep on someone's struggle or your journey, or your own, basically, or definitely not your own, I should say. Like, don't sleep on that, man. Like, there's, like J. Cole said, it's beauty in the struggle. It's beauty in the struggle. And like y'all hear me say, and y'all know how spiritual I am, like, that's all God is doing is preparing you. That's how I look at it. It doesn't matter what your mentality is or what's your thoughts on the subject, because it's gonna be true regardless. Regardless of your of your thoughts on difficult times, you gonna get through it. And if you don't, then you did everything that you were supposed to do. I mean, it's nothing at that point. It's nothing you can do about it. It's like, don't argue it, but don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. I really don't care what it is. Going back to the thing, like I said, like, I didn't know if I wanted to do gyms and gaming or not. Because like I said, I'm very particular about my time, but I'm also very particular about my brand. About, the things that I post, things that I do, the things that my business sells. Very particular about that, because if I hope to inspire people, I don't want to give any fuel for discouragement and doubt. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want you to look back on me, or I don't want to give you the fuel to look back on me years later and be like, oh, he's not who he say he is, or he's cap. You know, I want you to understand the just understand me in general, right? And just know, like, when I say you can get through certain things, I'm not just saying it to blow smoke. I'm saying it because I lived it, and I want you to see that I lived it. And when you look at earlier gems in gaming, it was kind of mid, in my opinion. I mean, it's still getting better, but I knew when I was watching. I'm like, man, this ain't even nice like that. Like, basically, like, man, the kids ain't looking for this. It's over with. But I just kept doing it. I know that, like I said, I know that doesn't seem like a big problem, but for me, it was huge because you know, I'm passionate about stuff that I do. If I'm particular about my brand, I ain't trying to put nothing out there that's not gonna be timeless. I'm just a perfectionist. Unfortunately, it's a part of my personality. So you know, in my opinion, it's gotten better, and it's only continue to get better, and that's the beauty of it. It's not gonna be the same forever. So difficult times can be difficult, but it doesn't have to be difficult because other people say it is. Like, it can just be difficult because you feel like it's difficult. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you ever get like you ever try to tell someone what you're going through and you hesitate because you like, man, this is, you know, it's kind of silly. Like, you won't really get it. I know it's not that big a deal, but it's important to you. So you feel silly for talking about it and having it on your heart, and you're afraid to talk about it, but it's still difficult for you. All right? You shouldn't, just because it's not as difficult as like your worst problem doesn't mean it's not a difficult time. You should probably embrace your issues a little bit more, and that way it's easier for you to, you know, kind of solve it. That, in my opinion, like, it'd be easier for you to solve more problems if you dealt with more problems head on instead of not talking about it or not dealing with it or not giving it any energy just because it's not that big a deal. I feel like experience is experience. It doesn't matter. Okay. It doesn't matter what, you know, you're doing to get experience. I feel like you're going to get experience. You know, talking to people in corporate and talking to people in video games oddly has a weird correlation. How you speak to people is far different in the two different spaces, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. I'm not gonna cap. Like, you have to get over the anxiety of talking to people. Sometimes in games it's required. Sometimes it's corporate it's required. Like, you're gonna have to get on. You're gonna have to get on. Not a Zoom call, but, you know, you're gonna have to get on some type of conference call. You're gonna have to learn how to work with people, understand rules, understand situations, understand the environment that you're in, understand how to utilize the tools the best way. If you would look at corporate or work the same way you look at video games, if you were like very experienced in video games, you would. That's my whole business. That's Pitch Play Co. Right? You would understand how great you are, or how to best utilize corporate. You would understand how great you can be if you use everything in real life or in corporate space like you did in a video game. That's why I say experience is experience. What I learned in games, I could easily take to corporate, and I did, and I succeeded in it very well. You guys know, like, I was making quite a bit before I did. I was making quite a bit. Like I help people today make quite a bit. And I mean, right now it's one of the most difficult times ever in the corporate space, and I know so many of my clients have already gotten offers in this space, six figures, several. So I know how it works. I'm not saying that the gas anything up. I'm just saying it because I know it works for sure. Yeah, I did not get the tell. I'm tripping. So that's why I'm saying experience is experience, and if you look at it that way, everything that you do matters. If I'm helping people with gyms and gaming, I'll continue to do gyms and gaming. If this is helpful for me to get better in my business, because like I said, my whole business plan is based off gamifying work and gamifying corporate, then okay, I'll use this time as research. I consider it as research. But in both my business and in both gyms and gaming YouTube, and I know this sounds crazy, how did I just end up backwards? That's crazy. In both of these things, I face difficulties all the time. Even posting like on YouTube, like you get anxiety, or at least I do. I don't know about other people, but I get anxiety about, oh man, I hope people like it. Oh man, are people gonna see it? Oh man, I'm not getting enough views. Oh man, just your standard like comparisons and stuff like that. Stuff that I train against and teach people how to avoid. I go through that. And YouTube is, optional. It's not my, it's not my day job, so it's optional. So of course, because it's optional, I felt at times like, oh, it's just, I'm about to just hang it up. Like, ain't nobody watching, blah, 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 blah. Don't quit though. Just because it's difficult. Like, stop quitting just because it's difficult. I'm not saying this to anyone, whoever's listening. I'm saying it in general. Like, don't. I'm mostly saying it to myself, but it's just like, don't, bro. For what? Why? It's always gonna get hard. It's always gonna get hard. But just remember, you survived 100% of your bad days. Not one. Have y'all seen Creed 3 yet? You're Creed, bruh. Like, at the end of the movie, you standing, or at the end of your day, you standing in the ring, 2 hands up. Let's go. Because you killing your days. Every single one of them. Not a single one has stood a chance against you. Not even your worst ones. Your best ones are too short, and your worst ones don't stand a chance. I feel you. It's an unfair balance of fighting and celebrating. But you guys got it. Oh, I just screwed that up. You guys got it. You trust me. Other than that, man, I also love to talk about some chill stuff. I've been posting like just a variety of different videos. Try to get, I want as many people as possible to be able to enjoy themselves on my page. So if y'all like the funny stuff too, that would be dope for you to check out. I say funny, but according to my niece, I'm not. And apparently, according to any of my future children, I will not be funny to them. But I personally think I'm hilarious. So y'all go ahead, y'all can check those videos out too. Once I finish with this fight, like I'm done. Oh, buddy just quit. Yeah, but once this fight is over, I'll be done. I just wanted to do something quick. I didn't know what was going to turn out from it, but I hope y'all got something out of it, and I hope it meant something, and I hope you just remember, like, never, ever, 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 like, give up. Just honestly, don't. For what? Oh wait, what was that? Because you did what? Nah, you already survived that. Oh, something new just came. You just heard about something. You gonna survive that too. How much you want to bet? Yeah, exactly, exactly. You know, and you know you're gonna do it. You know, it's no point in even fighting. You're like, you're gonna survive it, and then when you have that mentality of I got this, I'm gonna survive this. Whatever comes out on the other side, it's gonna be a different you. Ain't nobody gonna be able to recognize you. That's crazy. And then you're gonna be looking in the mirror one day, telling yourself, I gotta tell other people they can do it. Full circle. Full circle. That's all I'm saying.